history and with slavery and with the denial of basic human rights. But unless there was a real strong mentor, a real strong positive role model, a real encourager to basically kind of reinforce the intelligence of the students, that there could be a negative influence because of the history. And here's how they put it. This theory was breaking down that black students' outlook and attitude on the education could be negatively influenced if a teacher did not believe that they could have academic success or a place in society. So let's see here. The outcome was that schools needed to basically embrace black students' developing identities and their resilience, and implementing programs that could be positive in enforcing their academic development. Now, for the third part of the essay, I would like to discuss a periodical that I really liked, and it was called The Impact of Race and Gender on Graduate School Socialization and Satisfaction with Doctoral Study and Commitment in Degree Completion. Basically, this was a study of white and black doctoral students. The author was Evelyn Ellis, and she talked about the impact that race and socialization play in degree commitment and completion amongst these students. So what I found interesting, they found a few things. They did find that race and gender did have a big influence and impact on the socialization and the satisfaction of doctoral studies. And they also found that black women were the most isolated, the most lonely, and were the most affected by race and the challenge and adversity of race. But what was really interesting, what I thought was really interesting about this study, is they took a sample study of graduate numbers of doctorate programs, and they came in as follows. It was 11 black males, 11 white males, 10 white females, and 10 black females, all graduating successfully and carrying similar statistics to one another. So basically, all across the board, it was quite even, and that was regardless of race, that the graduation's completion success rate was very congruent amongst the difference between the white and the black students. So I thought that was really interesting. And it also did mention that the resilience of adversity and racism, and it had its positive effects too. Really, and you can see that in some of the studies and the success of people who are coming up against some pretty good adversity and racism. So, but it also did bring about, that the administration needed to bring about policy and such to help the students have good mentors and to help them have good graduate programs and to basically have a support system so that there's more unity in the schools. So in conclusion, what I've discussed was the research on race comparing stability to emotional expression amongst children of different races, and that was found that stability and emotion of race development through a person's early childhood was influenced at different rates across different social groups. And although children of a young age also found race to identify social groups, they also found it was also found that racial majority in children didn't really carry an intuition to the structure of these categories to really decipher. They're basically saying the study wasn't necessarily that stable. And then we also talked about race and socialization and identity and the impact it has on black high school students and the disposition and their attitude towards high school. And this was found that black students' outlook and attitude on their education could be negatively influenced if a teacher did not believe that they had academic success or a place in large society, unless a different positive intellectual identity could be passed down to those students. Basically, again, we're talking about good mentors, good encouragers, a good support system, basically in believing in the students, and that they can, be a great part of the larger society, and also do well in school. And finally, in the discussion, the discussion involving the doctoral students, what was found that even in the diversity of race and gender, that the graduation statistics were, in a small study, were very similar. And again, that was 11 black males, 11 white females, 10 white males, and 10 black females, all graduating successfully and carrying similar statistics to one another. So what I found was that in reflection, that there was evidence in the things that I researched that showed that there was a growth and overall positive influence that was reflected on society and our education and socialization today, even with the challenges of racism. And that a level of acknowledgement of a need for improvement has brought about program and policy to make the education system more effective and successful. Thank you very much.